Most people look at an angle grinder and just see a tool for cutting through rebar or hacking away at thick rust. But once you slap this belt sander attachment onto the front, the whole personality of the machine shifts. It turns that aggressive, spinning disc into a precise, surgical instrument for detail work. What really hits you first is the build quality. Instead of the usual cheap plastic housing that feels like it might melt under pressure, this thing is all metal. The main body is high-carbon steel, and the support arm is aluminum, which gives it a solid, reassuring weight in the hand. It feels like it was built to actually take a beating in a workshop rather than just sit on a shelf. Setting it up is surprisingly quick. If you have a standard 4 or 5-inch grinder with that common 5/8 spindle, you are looking at maybe 2 minutes of work to get it locked in. The fit is snug, and once it is on, it doesn't feel like some flimsy add-on. The dual bearing design is the real star here, though. It keeps the belt tracking smooth, and that high-strength spring keeps everything tight enough that you aren't constantly fighting with the belt slipping off the track. The driving wheel has this clever grooved, roughened surface that just grabs the belt and holds on, which is a massive relief if you have ever dealt with cheaper attachments that throw belts every time you apply a little pressure. Now, it is not perfect. Because it is a metal-heavy build, it does add a bit of heft to the front of your grinder, so if you're doing overhead work for an hour, your wrist is going to feel it. It is a trade-off for that durability, but it is worth noting. Also, while it handles tight corners and welding points like a dream, you are still limited by the reach of the arm. It is not going to replace a full-sized bench sander, but for getting into those awkward gaps or cleaning up a messy weld on a stainless steel frame, it is honestly impressive. The kit comes with 20 belts right out of the box, ranging from coarse 60 grit all the way up to a fine 600. That is a nice touch because it means you can go from stripping heavy rust to a decent polish without having to run back to the store. It is a straightforward, no-nonsense piece of kit that does exactly what it claims to do. If you're tired of trying to jam a bulky grinding disc into tight spots, this is probably the most practical upgrade you can bolt onto your grinder. It is sturdy, it is precise, and it makes those tedious finishing jobs feel a whole lot less like a chore.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.